Hello, hello, and welcome to the Limit Free Life Show. We are actually, me and my guest today are Zooming in for various reasons. I have a wonderful guest who is coming to us from New Mexico, and I myself am coming to you from my office today because traffic was literally made it impossible for me to get to the studio. So yes, life in Los Angeles. We are here every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and we bring you all kinds of tips, advice, and great guest interviews that are focused on certain subjects: career transition, business growth and development, and financial issues, money management, and more specifically, money mindset. So the goal of the show is to help you to create work you love. And so to that end, I have an expert on creating freedom in your life. And I can't wait to get started with our conversation. I'm going to introduce her right now. Her name is Dr. Marga Macias, and she was born in 1989. Her specialty trainings included double residency in pediatrics in both the United States and the Philippines, and a fellowship in children. She's an author. She's written a best-selling book, Turn Diabetes Around: 7 Simple Steps to Stop Diabetes in You and Your Family Forever. And she has written another book, Birthright. This is also so Dr. Macias, Marga, thank you for being here. So happy to have you.
Eight, I had a ruptured aneurysm in my brain, and it nearly cost me my life. I almost died from that. And that also happened to be a period in my life where it was very, very dark and difficult. I had been a single mom for 18 years at that point. I was in a job that I was very depressed in because I was undervalued and underpaid and overworked. And my father was dying then of cancer. And, I was losing also the love of my life I've had for 7 years in a relationship. And so it felt like everything was falling apart. And then came the biggest whammy of all, that ruptured aneurysm. And my neurosurgeon actually called me his walking miracle, because he could not believe that I survived. Because when they opened up my brain, I was told it apparently seemed that I had bled twice. So I survived 2 ruptured aneurysms, and he said people normally on the spot will just die. And those that do survive the surgery, they can also have an incident. I mean, they can even die on the table, or they can even have a stroke within the first 2 weeks. But for me to emerge with so much blood in my brain, 100% intact, was a miracle for him. So that's why he called me his walking miracle. And it was at that point where I realized that there is more to my life than an 8 to 5 job every single day. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I love dealing with the children. You know, so that's why your birthright is that you are born to greatness. And when you are that person, when you become who you all that where I come in, because everybody's unique to me. I don't treat people as a cookie cutter pattern, I individualize my treatment because every story is unique, every life, every experience is unique. And so I will customize what's wrong, what are their roadblocks, what's keeping them from voicing out their concerns, what's keeping them from shining, what's keeping them from moving forward, what are the fears that are holding them back, that are afraid of, that's keeping them from living the life of their dreams. And so it's baby steps. I take care of all the different aspects, and then eventually it's funny because it's like you're dealing with a baby, or let's say an 11-month-old. They don't know how to walk. So you teach them how to walk patiently, slowly. And then they're holding your hand. And then eventually they're just holding a finger. And then when they have all the confidence in the world, they let go and they run. So that's how I like to apply it to my clients. I understand that it's going to be a difficult, road in the beginning, but I'm not going to give up. And that's one thing that I think is one of my strengths is I never give up. But I need to see that you want to do your part too. So if you don't give up, I'm right beside you, and together we're going to get through it.
Wow, that's beautiful. So are you talking to people, or are you working with people who, you say they're kind of broken? Is that, are they depressed? I mean, what exactly do you mean by that?
Yes, I mean, they can be depressed, or they can be discouraged, or they can be anxious, or they can be afraid.
Okay.
There's so many different kinds of factors that will pull somebody back or will keep them from stepping forward. And that's what you really want from life. And then let's unfold and open up and clean out anything that could have been, an obstacle towards your getting there.
Right. So do you start, because I love also to help people find their gifts and their strengths. And so I'd love to hear some tips from you on, how you help people to do that. It sounds like it should be simple, but as you know, people they're not in touch with their natural strengths or gifts typically.
Yes. And sometimes it's a hidden thing, or it's a quiet passion that they're afraid to let people know. And so, or because they put themselves last, I really want to do this. This is really my love. But then I have my family, I have my career, I have so many things. And so they put so many obstacles in front, and instead of taking time to embrace their power and celebrate themselves and give themselves the time that they need to be able to blossom. So, and that's why it's a very unique process for everyone, because I first need to get to know the person well and know their story and know what it is, so that I can help them, streamline their lives and help them find ways to not be afraid to step forward and move in a direction that they want to. Because, when you put others ahead of yourself all the time, I'm not talking, it's not, of course, it's not bad. I do it as much as another. But then if you're always the last one on the line for time for yourself, then things are going to start to fall apart. And then the miserable one is going to be you. You might have everybody up and ready and healthy and happy and going, but you probably are drained of your energy, or you just don't have it in you to even move forward anymore because you're so exhausted. So that's why I said it's an overhaul.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. So, so again, claiming your birthright is that
Tells you, I mean, there's a lot of stories in there, so that's what makes it interesting, because stories from clients, because I'm more often than not to say, yep, that sounds like me, or yes, I can relate to that. And then that I enumerate, or I list down all the most common roadblocks that stop people from getting there.
okay.
Then I give them my 5 solutions, 5 simple solutions. There's not a whole list that you really want to sit down and think about for yourself and be inspired with, so that as you have all these solutions in place, then the roadblocks slowly fall away, and then you'll find yourself more confident and driven to move forward.
So some of the common roadblocks, and I'd love to hear the 5 solutions. Just I know we have to read the book or talk to you to get the real meat of it, but if you can just kind of let us in on those, just a summary version of the 5 solutions, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, the roadblocks. There's a lot. There's of course, so many different kinds of fears that happen: fear of abandonment, fear of criticism, and also your own insecurities that happen along the way, or life, whatever life throws at you. I mean, there's so many different roadblocks that each person has, and some of them I might not even know about just yet, but it's always, there's the fear of not being loved, not being appreciated, fear of speaking in your own voice. And so and your own voice, not like people expect you to say, but your own voice, not what people expect you to do, but what you want to do,
Yeah, and that can throw people in your
others. And so I'm working with mentors right now, and I will continue to work with mentors so that I can fine tune myself and make myself the best tool for anybody that I work with. And in that process, I also have discovered that I have, but my intuitive powers, strengths are remarkable. I didn't realize it until they pointed it out to me. And as I work together with them, I'm seeing that too. So if somebody is trying to keep things from me, I'll be able to tell if it's off. I'll be able to tell if there's something that is still inside there that's stuck. And so, through patience,
Yeah.
you can slowly bring that out.
Right, right. Yeah, that's so important. And I just that are easy for other people to.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, and you can learn from them and they learn from you. It's a win-win for people.
Yeah.
I also learn from my clients,
Yeah.
And so it's moving forward together.
Right.
That's the nice part about it. And so it's, like I said, it's when I see success stories where I'm a part of it, it just, nothing brings me more joy than that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so people have become more aware of their strengths, and how do they take that and then leverage that into, I'm assuming that when you're talking about helping people, it could be any area of life. It's not necessarily work, or, it's any goals that people have, basically.
Yes. It always boils down to what's number one thing that you really want to achieve at this point. What aspect of your life do you feel is lacking or missing? And why do you think it's lacking or missing? What do you think is keeping you from getting to that point? And so slowly, like layers of an onion, you unpeel things until you get down to the core. What's going on with that? And it can be anything, your relationships with your family, with your significant others or whoever you have in your life, your children, your job, yourself, even yourself. Right. So there's so many different facets in life that, and some you're really good at, you have it down pat, but then there's some where you say, I need something there, or, I feel a lack, I feel a need, I don't feel fulfilled, I'm scared to do something. And so, and that, when you know that there's something else that you want to do, but you can't do it, it's difficult to live with that every single day. So,
right.
And it's not a miracle thing, that's why my programs are 3, 6, 12 months, depending on how much you want to work. But it's because some are so difficult and heavy. Yeah. And even heavy for me to hear. So, it's like, okay, what do I do with this? How did I cope with this? And to just kind of guide them through that process too. Like I said, I mean, there's 1,000 examples, if not more, because everybody is so unique. Right. And so, it's the situations that make this interesting. But then at the same time, the harder it is, the sweeter the success.
Right, absolutely. Nothing really great is easy to achieve, it seems like. Yeah. Well, so being an MD, do you see how addressing these inner issues, what is the impact on your physical health as well? Are they connected somehow?
To the physical health? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's why I said there's the four wheels of the car are all
Yeah.
together. They're interlocked. You can't separate one from the other.
Mhm.
Like, for instance, if you are extremely diabetic, or if you have heart issues, or if you have, some mental problems that you're dealing with, you can't be perfectly balanced spiritually, emotionally, and mentally if your body is failing you. So
Right.
you've got to fix all four tires.
Mhm.
Not one. I mean, yes, one could be higher than the other. The wheel might be a little bit more
Yeah.
hydrated, but not flat with a point where you can't even move. Because all it takes is one flat wheel and you can't go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
That's the analogy. So it's really looking at all different aspects. So I will not just focus on your physical self. I
Right.
mean, you have issues. There's so many, diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, anxiety, depression. The list goes on. We fix that one, and then how does that tie into the other aspects of your life? And then, take it from there.
Right, right. Yeah, I think it's all really interesting because although I consider this to be in a lot of ways a business oriented show, I've been having a lot of people on lately who are, coaches or people in nutrition and other areas, but they're being an entrepreneur is hard work, and you have to have a high level of energy. You have to feel good. And so, you really can't stress enough the importance of taking care of yourself, both, mentally, emotionally, physically. It really takes being solidly and healthy in every way to be able to really have the success that you want in business or, financially, whatever. So
yes, that's why that physical aspect is very important, because if you neglect some part of yourself, you're not going to be able to function optimally. And not only that, but your journey to where you want to go is so much longer and harder and slower.
Right, right. And we see so many people working themselves to the bone, really, to try to achieve.
No, yeah. And then what happens? They fall over from a heart attack, There's so many stories that way. Or they may be so successful in their careers and their jobs, but then, their relationships suffer. So you've got to have that balance wherein, you give of yourself, but not to drain yourself completely. And you must know how to refuel yourself.
Right. Right. What are some of the things that you tell people as far as refueling? I like that.
I've tried to find out first what their passions are, because some people love music, some people love to dance, some people love to exercise like crazy. So whatever it is that gives you your, that brings up your mojo, then that's what I want you to do. Like one of my clients, she says, I love to do yoga. But then she opted to take away that hour and a half of her yoga to be more productive, to catch up on the work that she wanted to do.
Right.
But I told her, do you realize that when you remove that part, and you immediately go wham bam straight into your work, after a point you're just going to burn out and you're not going to be able to sing that for the rest of your day. But if that brings you in such a spiritual, emotional, physical high, then guess what? All that work that you're going to have to do, you're going to do it in a shorter time because you refueled your body. So things like that.
Right. Yeah. I know it's really, it's very interesting to get that balance down. And in the world that you operate in, typically with doctors and nurses and people, they, I think they lean in many ways to being not that balanced. Oddly, I find that nurses really kill themselves, and then they really have to come home and just sleep, or that's a very difficult lifestyle. I from what I can tell, so very hard when you're how do you help a person to create more of that balance when they really they have jobs where they're working very hard. It's some physical work as well as mental work, and then they have to get sleep to refuel, and maybe they have kids or whatever. Where do you
there's no longer fear or anxiety that holds you back.
Okay.
You're brave, you're strong. You are not afraid to step forward and say, this is what I want. I'm going to pursue my passion. This is what I'm going to do. And
Okay.
yes, you can have some heckling and you can have some people, pulling you back, even your loved ones holding you back and say, no, that's not right. No, you can't do this. You can't do this. You're not supposed to do this. And eventually, like from my experiences in my life, that you still hold your ground and you keep on going. And then when you get there, it's like an awakening for other people too. They says, I see now I see why she pushed for that. Mm-hmm. And life is so much better for not just yourself, but for everyone you're with.
Yeah, I love that. And it drives home the
website. My website. It's margamacíasmd.com. And over there, you will have access to my books, The Turn Diabetes Around and The Birthright. Oh, and speaking of Turn Diabetes Around, I just have a really happy story because one of my books, and also you'll be able to make an appointment with me if you want to schedule a talk, and I call it like a discovery conversation. So take it from there.
Wonderful. That's great. Well, thank you so much for sharing some time in your day with us today. And, you know, everything you were saying has resonated with me, and I'm sure with listeners. And, you know, what a wonderful gift to be able to help yourself in all those areas. So like you say, you've got all cylinders working for you. That really is the way to a limit-free life. So yeah. Thank you, Dr. Marga, for coming on. And yeah. Okay. Bye. Yes, listeners, we are so thankful to have you here, and very much appreciate you listening today. So we are here on
that your work is yours to create. This is your piece of art that you can create in your life, and there's really nothing stopping you. Overall, most of us can learn what we need to learn and figure out what we need to figure out and create that fabulous career or business that we dream about, and there's really no reason to think that you can't. My name is Michelle Perkins, and I am the CEO and founder of a company called Limit Free Life. And I help men and women to make dramatic change in their lives so that they can have the fulfillment, fun, and financial prosperity that they have always wanted to find through their work. The main services I offer through Limit Free Life are one-on-one private coaching, group coaching, trainings and seminars, and business consulting. My signature service is one-on-one coaching over a period of time, 3 months, 6 months, even a year. It really allows a person to decide on an outcome that they desire, and then for us to work together to really achieve that outcome in full. The type of clients that I typically work with are professional men and women who are driven to do more, who might be entrepreneurs, but also career professionals who work in organizations, who are really looking to do more with their lives and very open to thinking in new ways about what they're doing, and who are willing to take responsibility, do the work, make some changes, and who don't say I can't a whole lot. Clients up-level in a number of ways. For some, they start a business after being in the corporate world. For others, they have an existing business and they really figure out the key and the formula to making that business grow and take off. For some, it's a matter of really developing courage. And for many, it's a matter of up-leveling their view of themselves, what they're capable of, how powerful they are, what their strengths are, and where they can go in life. What I see also is that there's a spark that kind of gets lit, and that flame keeps growing within them, and there are things that they want that maybe they were reluctant to even express that they wanted, and now they just go for it. They have bigger wants and bigger dreams than they had before, and the sense that they can achieve those things. I feel very strongly that money beliefs are foundational to developing a business that can scale and grow and become the business that you want it to be, whatever level of success that is. And for people who feel stuck or their business isn't going the way they want, a lot of times it comes back to some of these money beliefs. So as a certified money mindset coach, I have the training to help people understand where their hidden money beliefs are either interfering in their lives or businesses, or coming into play in some fashion in all the decisions that they're making, both in their business and in their life. The overall mission behind my work is to help people love their work, to find satisfaction, fulfillment, fun, and also to be financially prosperous in what they're doing. That combination to me is a perfect recipe for making work a great part of your life. And so that's my vision, is for people to see work and money as allies in their life and things they can lean on so that they have something that makes them feel important and something that gives them a place to go to develop a sense of identity and purpose and meaning in the world. My greatest hope for my clients is that they will develop a holistic relationship with work, money, and life, and there won't be this separation where they go to work and then they live their life after work, and they will develop work or businesses that they love, they look forward to going to, and that give them the freedom and the income and the happiness that they're looking for in their life.